Welcome to lesson 18, problem number 2, where we are factoring binomials. So we already talked about the first step in factoring polynomials is the GCF. So that's always your first step. We don't have to worry about that in this problem. However, the next step, the second step in factoring is to look at the number of terms. And if you look at the number of terms, and there are 2 terms, what I always want you to think about, at least in Algebra 1, is the fact that if you had a squared minus b squared, it would factor as a minus b and a plus b. If you want to do double distribution and multiply that out, you'd get back to a squared minus b squared because the middle terms would cancel based on the minus and the plus. So I want you to know that, but you don't have to worry about memorizing that. I want you to really understand why that happens. But everything we're doing right now is in this step 2 where there's 2 terms and they are all about binomials. And we only can factor binomials that are both square terms if it's the difference, the subtraction sign of 2 squares, not the sum of 2 squares. Okay, with that in mind, let's get started. And we're going to roll through these just like we've done with some other factoring because there's a lot of busy work. And I usually say no busy work, but this is so important I couldn't help but wanting to do a lot of problems. Okay, b squared minus 64. So we take the square root of the first term minus the square root of the second, and then the square root of the first term plus the square root of the second. Makes no difference if you did plus here and minus there, it's exactly the same. Okay, the next one, x minus 6, x plus 6, done. Multiply it out if you don't really believe me. Okay, this one can't factor because it's a plus, not a minus. So there's nothing we can do to factor this one. So you can't factor it. We're done. Okay, D is going to be x minus y and x plus y. Hopefully you're seeing the nice pattern and why we can go so quickly through these. E is just going to be 7a minus 4 and 7a plus 4. Notice I'm kind of looking for GCFs, but I knew there'd be no GCFs in here based on the instructions. It just says factor. We're going to give you a hint before you have to take out a GCF. Okay, the next one's a little trickier, but it's 10xy minus 9ab. And then, of course, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 10xy plus 9ab. Okay, those were 6 kind of busy work problems. Super important concept. Don't forget it. Have a great rest of the lesson. See you.